Hey guys, what's going on? This is Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we are going to talk about the Patreon workouts at 3 times a week. Now, these are insanely affordable at $25 a month, and they're battle tested over the last 5 years of working with mechanics that are working 40 and 50 hour a week jobs, turning wrenches on their feet, busting their butt, working on cars all day, and diesel mechanics and also detailers. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about ATP Labs. Now, ATP Labs has been a huge help for me the last 7 or 8 years. And far before they were actually a sponsor on our website, they are actually my go-to supplements since about 2015. Charles Poliquin introduced me to ATP Labs, and their ingredients that they use in their stuff is second to none. They are regulated by their Canadian FDA, so they're treated like a drug, and they also have amazing benefits. So the biggest one I think that most people can take, now when you do supplements, you want to base it off of blood work, but the big one that helps a lot of people is Mag. So it's in the blue section, Mag. Now it's magnesium glycinate, and the biggest thing with magnesium is 75% of the population is deficient in magnesium, which causes muscles to be sore longer, and also reduces sleep, making sleep very difficult. I noticed the first probably 2 to 3 days that I was on Mag, upwards of 8 years ago, my sleep improved dramatically, which then in turn increased my performance. The next thing, if we look at most people's blood work, vitamin D is also insanely important for making testosterone, enhancing recovery, but you need to combine it with K2 because vitamin D by itself can cause some buildup of plaque in your arteries. So if you're just taking vitamin D, take the ATP Labs vitamin D K2, and you'll notice that that'll be a big help as well. And then their natural just multivitamin called Total Defense. That multivitamin is probably the best I've ever seen. A lot of my firemen, a lot of my special forces guys, I put on these three, and we see some dramatic improvements in not only performance, but recovery. So in reality, what we should be looking for in supplementation is recovery basis. Now, for the original talk on my video, I posted both on Instagram and on YouTube earlier some deadlifting as the guys were warming up to an 85% or 8.5 RPE on the deadlift. Now remember that we don't go as hard on the 3 times a week guys because they're standing on their feet for 40 to 50 and sometimes plus hours a week, turning wrenches, beating their butts, pulling heads and engines out of trucks. It's a very demanding job where the guys get really beat up and really sore. So they reduced the training down to 3 times a week. We've made it insanely affordable for all of you guys across the world to be able to hop on and do this. And if you have questions on some specialized equipment that you may not have, you're totally able to ask me questions on there on a fairly regular basis. I usually check it 2 to 3 times a week. So you have a doctor that is got his degree in exercise physiology, kinesiology, and 25 years experience training elite athletes, firemen, and mechanics that you have at your instant access for questions on your workouts. It's almost unheard of. So go visit winningstrength.com and check out the Patreon. Not only will you get amazing workouts, but you'll also get Q&A with me. You'll get special discounts with ATP Labs. On the top tier, you get up to 25% off, which will pay for your membership, bar none. The other thing that we post as well on the Patreon channel, with mostly at the top tier, but sometimes at the medium tier, which is the one we're talking about today, is the library, which is a vast collection of books that I've had over the last 35 years of training and being around Louis Simmons and Dave Tate and Charles Poliquin. I've created a massive library with my own personal notes that I post. So if you're a coach or a personal trainer that doesn't have the time or the energy to sift through find all the good parts in the books, it's an amazing way to kind of get the cliff notes on my philosophy and how I train. So talk to you guys soon and visit winningstrength.com.